Good morning, Grenada, Caracou, Peachy. You telling me what an accent? Good morning, Grenada, Caracou, Peachy. Okay, I'm gonna control myself. Good morning, Grenada, Caracou, PT, Martinique. It's another good day to have a good day. It is Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. Happy to have each and every one of you joining us. Those of you on the GBN television, the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd. Those of you watching on GBN TV channels 7, 11, and 20. And good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9. Hot 98.5, 98.7. Good morning to the folks joining us across the Caribbean, as far north as Jamaica, as far south as Guyana, as far east of Grenada as Barbados, as far southwest as the ABC Islands, and every island in between. Good morning to you. And those of you joining us internationally as well, tuned into the program, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. All right, let's start as usual with this morning's word of the day. This morning's word of the day is scunner. Scunner. S-C-U-N-N-E-R, scunner. It's a noun which means an irrational dislike or loathing. Scunner. The verb scunner, which means to shrink back in disgust or fear, quail, or hesitate, is first recorded about 1425. Its further history is unknown, but some authorities think it's related to scornen, which means to despise, be contemptuous, hold in disdain. Scunner entered English in the 14th century. This morning's word of the day is scunner. S-C-U-N-N-E-R, a noun which means an irrational dislike or loathing. Examples of the use of the word: ever since my school days, I've always taken a scunner to businessmen. Another example of the use of the word: this is not always on offer because, for some reason which I can't remember, he took a scunner to the other one. This morning's word of the day, scunner, S-C-U-N-N-E-R, a noun which means an irrational dislike or loathing. And this morning's thought of the day: we either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. It's up to you which direction you go. It's the same amount of energy we dispel for most of our emotions, and it's up to you which emotion you want to feel. We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. And I could add here, make ourselves miserable or make ourselves strong and happy. The amount of work is the same. Quite a few things celebrated today, October 13th. Let's see what they are today. It is M&M Day. M&M Day, the little candies. Kids love them, adults feel nostalgic eating them, and they won't melt in your hand, just in your mouth. We're talking M&Ms. It's M&M's Day, so get ready to celebrate. Say no more, internet, say no more. I got you. I like the yellow ones, the peanuts. Today it is also Transfer Money to Your Son Day. So the other day was the daughters. Today it is Transfer Money to Your Son's Day. Expect your son to finally call home. You probably send him money whenever he needs it or when you're thinking of him in general. But why not get festive and send him pocket change to celebrate this very specific holiday? You might even get an I love you out of it. Transfer Money to Your Son Day. So send your sons off to school and work with a little extra change in their pockets. Mommy came through the other day. Pick up your whole self, mother. You see, that's why I tell all I'm a mommy's girl. Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day. She celebrated with me. Bless up your whole self, mother. Today it is also Herpes Awareness Day. Herpes Awareness Day is an opportunity to raise awareness around the causes, risk, and treatment of different types of herpes infections, particularly genital herpes. Perhaps more importantly, it's important to debunk myths around the disease, start conversations about what it really means to have a genital herpes infection, and hopefully destroy the stigma around the disease that impacts nearly 20% of women between the ages of 14 and 49 worldwide. Herpes Awareness Day. And today it is also Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day on October 13th is a time to gain and spread knowledge of what sufferers are up against and how society can help. Metastatic means that what began as a case of early-stage breast cancer has spread to other organs, including the lungs or bones, etc., outside the breast, and is now considered to be stage 4 cancer. At this point, the only cure option is to treat the advanced cancer and its side effects, including anxiety. There is no cure for metastatic breast cancer as of the writing of this article. So a special good morning to all the men and women afflicted with breast cancer. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and today we specifically recognize those who suffer from metastatic breast cancer. It is not an easy thing to go through. I've known people who have gone through cancer treatments, including chemotherapy, and it's definitely a journey. So special good morning to all the sufferers of breast cancer, patients. I don't like sufferers. The patients of breast cancer, specifically metastatic breast cancer. Good morning to all the patients of cancer. All right, it is time for the morning edition of news. Just a heads up, overnight we started experiencing some rain, at least parts of the island, including the south, and that is expected to continue today as Grenada and parts of the Lesser Antilles are affected by a tropical wave in the Atlantic. So those of you who live in flood-prone areas, as usual, please take note. Those of you who need to patch your roofs before you leave for work or school today, please ensure that you do that. We are expecting some water in parts of the island. All right, now let's get ready for the morning edition of news and a repeat of last evening's newscast. We are still in COVIDious times. Case number 25 was officially announced yesterday. If that's not a wake-up call to those of us who were complacent, then I don't know what is going to be. Please continue to protect yourselves. The borders are open. We need to be mindful. Let's go to the break. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us. The Health Ministry has gone into protective mode. It has taken a Grenadian national into quarantine following a positive COVID-19 indication from a battery of tests. This brings to 25 the number of COVID-19 cases which have been recorded in Grenada. The commonality with this development, as with most others in the past, is that it is an imported case. The patient has been identified as a male in his mid-20s to early 30s of Tivoli, St. Andrew, who returned to the country on Air Canada last Monday. The Health Ministry ensured the public was brought up to speed on the developments during a brief this afternoon.
This latest case is the first in about 3 months, and it is the first imported case since the full reopening of Grenada's borders on 1st October. The confirmed case is a St. Andrew resident who returned from Canada and who regrettably left quarantine unknown to health officials before he was given the all clear to do so.
Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles talking there. He says the ministry has been informed that the COVID-19 patient attended more than one social gathering on island after breaking quarantine. Dr. Charles is appealing to people who believe that they may have attended these functions to come forward.
We have received numerous reports alleging that the individual was present at social gatherings. We are at present investigating these reports, and if individuals are aware that they were present at these gatherings while the individual was there. We urged them to quarantine themselves and contact health officials.
Dr. Charles confirmed that the individual has been quarantined and the ministry is engaged in contact tracing. He said so far more than one household has been quarantined as a result of this new case. He added that health officials have already started testing individuals who have been in contact with the patient.
There are households presently under quarantine as a result of exposure to this individual. It is not one household, all right? There are going to be many households that are affected. All right, as we get more information and as we identify more contacts, those persons are placed under quarantine. All right, I do not have I cannot give you a number at present. Like I said, the situation is fluid and ongoing. Remember, this case was confirmed yesterday. The testing is ongoing today, so I would not have that number in front of me because the persons doing the testing are out in the field conducting the testing. Once they collect the samples, it goes to a lab. It generally takes between 1 to 2 days to receive the results.
According to the acting chief medical officer, the patient will be charged. This story to report: some people went into panic mode on the weekend as reports of the suspected case made the rounds. During GBN's To The Point program this morning, callers expressed concern about their safety. They were reacting to suggestions that quarantine protocols are not being followed.
We have civilians that have friends in the police force. Something goes wrong, and well, because it's a friend, they, make some excuse, they pass it over, pretend that they don't see. Such persons, in the case with the police, they should be dismissed immediately. The law is the law, and unless these things are not done, we are not going to get anywhere at all. Thank you.
Somebody else on WhatsApp says you never get 100% compliance. Those who breach the protocol should be prosecuted.
What is good for the goose is good for the gander. You can have people, some going in quarantine and some not. This is not right for our nation. We don't want this COVID to come and ride us each and every man here. We're in a small nation, and we have to protect our nation.
Well, you see that when they lowered the repercussions and stuff like that, so the penalties, they pay less and they get less jail time and stuff. You see that left it as it was. You understand? So you lower the price. Some people could gather that kind of money, you understand? So mark up the penalties how it was, and if they cannot stay in quarantine and they don't want to follow our rules, send them back where they come from.
Okay, aren't there penalties attached to those regulations? As far as I know, they enforce the penalties consistently. Short answer.
Well, some individuals were also angered by reports that a Grenadian resident sneaked into a quarantine facility to visit someone who arrived on the island last week. Reports are that the person jumped out of a window to avoid being detected by health and security officials who were examining the property. Reports say the person suffered a broken leg. Negotiations are continuing with Seabourn and Sea Dream Yacht Club to resume cruise calls to Grenada. The Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism say the discussions are aimed at creating income-generating activities for many. Last week, Minister for Tourism, Dr. Clarice Modeste-Cohen, said requests have been made by the cruise lines to secure access to uncrowded beaches to minimize personal contact between locals and visitors, thus reducing any possible transmission of disease. In a release, the ministry says that in this pandemic period, the first priority of the government is to keep the shores of the Tri-Island states safe and ensure responsible and diverse economic recovery. Government says Sea Dream Yacht Club is proposing to work with Barbados, Grenada, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Other news, the President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers is accusing the Ministry of Education of putting students and their teachers' lives at risk. Marvin Andal is hanging the accusation on the ministry's decision to remove the 6 feet physical distancing protocols. He spoke with GBN via Zoom on Monday.
The government said in a press statement that Cabinet has approved the removal of the physical distancing arrangements in classrooms. These were removed while all other protocols were left in place. Teachers Union President Marvin Andal thinks the timing is bad, considering that more flights are being accepted at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. Mr. Andal also referenced the high COVID-19 case count in neighboring Trinidad, and he worries about a possible outbreak here.
And schools have with it is a melting pot. The children come from multiple homes, and to have the removal of social distancing in the school sends the message that it's okay there, but in other places we maintain the social distancing. It doesn't make sense, it appears. So we have to be on the side of caution. We want to suggest that let us at least make out the rest of this month and review the situation and then make a determination as to how we go forward thereafter.
According to the GUT president, sinks are yet to be installed in some schools, which is a key component in the COVID-19 protocol.
Most schools are providing their own hand sanitizer. The washing sink that we thought would have been part of phase 1, in most instances are yet to be there. So far, they have not been provided. Teachers, being the kind of persons they are, went out and in some cases do those things that the ministry was supposed to do themselves. So let us not put teachers and students at risk by removing the social distancing in schools.
Andal also expressed frustration that while the Education Ministry rolls out a full return to the classroom, some schools remain understaffed. According to him, temporary teachers are still home awaiting a response on when they can resume duties. The union is hoping to get an audience with the Education Ministry sometime this week to share the fraternity's concerns. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Still ahead in network news, remember Abel Mark, the youngster who crawls to school on his hands? Well, he continues to make great strides and tells GBN about his big dream. Stay close. Former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas is hoping that a newly minted activist grouping will help to free Grenadians from the shackles of fear. He's hopeful that with the newly launched NGO, the Grenada Movement, will stimulate the public discourse on major issues of national concern. The former Prime Minister shared his thoughts with my colleague, Christina John.
Thomas says he fully endorses the organization.
It is good. It is important to have groups in the society to speak on behalf of issues affecting our people. There are times when one speaks because you have a political connection, they say it's political. When you have a group like an interest group, a pressure group, I guess when they speak, people would realize, and people would take them seriously. Because in recent times, most people in our society have become somewhat, how should I say, they're afraid to speak out because of victimization.
He speaks on some of the areas he believes should be tackled as a matter of priority.
Particularly to address the economic issues, to address the whole issue of respect for our institutions. We have seen a decline in our institutions over the years, and the independence of the media. Of course, some people feel in recent time the media has been taking a more independent line. I don't know, but we need people to speak out on matters. Look at the CBI project. I mean, they talk about an investigation into the so-called shrimp farm, but we have heard nothing about it.
In the coming months, Grenadians may have to give up some privileges to accommodate cruise visitors to local beaches. While some persons are expressing understanding on the issue, others are against the proposal being touted by government. We asked the former Prime Minister, Mr. Thomas, for his thoughts on the subject.
For instance, I heard this latest issue about a tourist ship is going to come to Grenada and they want to occupy a beach. This is something that the nation needs to speak out about because, I mean, Grenadians should not be marginalized to promote tourism. We welcome tourism. We're willing to share with people and to be part of the process, but we should not be marginalized. You know, neither should we be treated as second class. We are genuine citizens of Grenada, and we should have access to all our beaches. Not even for 1 hour should we be deprived of.
Mr. Thomas was not the only one happy with the move. Gulf resident Llewellyn Duncan is among members of the public who followed the launch on the media of the Grenada movement last week.
I think we need in the country right now is a government that is going to look at the interests of the country. Right now, NNP is looking after the interests of the party. And cost is what it will. All they're concerned, NNP have to be there. They don't care what it costs. But we need someone that will be looking after the interests of the country.
Grenadian economist Dr. Patrick Antwine is the chairman of the Grenada movement. While some persons have ascribed political aspiration by members of the movement, persons connected thereto tell GBN that they are an activist grouping and nothing else. Time will tell. Christina John, GBN News.
A young man in St. Mark says he is on the move and does not plan to stop despite his challenges. Abel Mark has come a long way and continues to dream big. It was in 2016 that the Grenada Broadcasting Network broke the news of young Abel. With more than 47,000 views and 23,000 shares, this young man's story touched many hearts. Today, Rena Pear brings us an update on Abel and his family.
After GBN brought Abel's story to the public 4 years ago, he was able to travel to the United States, where he had a successful surgery on his waist and back. The now 16-year-old can move and sit upright and is making significant progress. Today, Abel Mark is in Form 4, attempting 10 CXC subjects. He has high hopes and aspirations pinned on graphics design.
When I grew up, I want to be a graphic designer. I'm a big fan of cars and, well, I like computer and everything. I just like to see the designs on cars and, well, yeah, and all that. Any type of graphic, but my main graphics is on vehicles, like the logo and everything.
As Abel continues his educational journey, he has a fervent prayer.
Well, all I want to do is just to walk, and that's all. Well, if that is possible, I'll feel real happy to walk again. You ease me in, well, for my mother-wise and getting on in school more. I'll be able to walk, well, a little more faster into my other classes and them.
His father, Clifton Mark, also harbors Abel's dream of realizing his full potential to walk.
For him, that's his life, and I want to see him up and running. I would like to find out from anyone, any doctors, who have any information or who can see him and give me information about how he can walk, where the operation could be done, if it's possible, and give me something that we know definitely they're willing to do it, and the cost and something as that, and we're going to take it from there. Once I get the information from doctors or in any country, we're going to take it from there. If nothing can be done, I got to deal with it and keep on carrying it on my head, my back, anywhere I could to give me what I have to give him.
Mark says the family is forever grateful to members of the public who have supported them throughout this journey, and they hope that Abel's accomplishments will serve as a motivation for others. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
It's inspiring. The residents of Sans Souci continue to complain over the land slippage around their homes. They say they are grateful for the steps that were constructed in the area, but the lack of proper drainage is creating a serious hazard.
Some residents of Lower Sans Souci are fearful that their homes are on the brink of a catastrophe. They say it's a wash-down situation that is beyond their control, and now they are pleading for the Ministry of Works to intervene. Janai Kapeh, explaining her situation, says since before the last election, she lodged her complaint to the coordinator for the area and was promised that something will be done. She says her gap is already gone because of the continuous flow of water due to poor drainage.
Concern is the water. Every time rain comes, as you can see, the water from on top coming down right here, and just now we cannot pass to go up in our land. The government built a step, and we're glad for the step because before the step it was mud and it was struggle for us when rain falls just the same. We thanks for the step, but at the same time we need a drain for the step because the water coming down on the step and eventually all the land going to slide out.
She's not the only one affected. This gentleman who opted to stay off camera is one of 5 other households affected.
The water will coming from on top Sans Souci, like when all the drains overload on Sans Souci, like every heavy rain, some in the soil go. I have little landslides if it's in front. Well, it's affecting the neighbors go straight down. It's about 5 houses go down, or 6 straight down to the bottom. As a heavy rainfall, the water come and like all the overflow. Then I see they was doing a piece from on top, but they stopped it up here. So it's obvious when you reach the stop, you just keep coming through the mud.
You see water start all by me. I have a back wall, and if you see that water pump all day, real water start.
As the rainy season continues, they're in need of urgent assistance.
We go to them numerous times and nothing never really done. And right now I reach a point where you don't know what to do. So I don't know who could just outside they listening parliamentary rep for St. George's. I can't say I know who it is because I never see him, he never walk around, you know. So I just need some assistance. That's all.
If the relevant authorities, who I think we spoke to a couple of them over a period of time, they say something will be done, but so far nothing done, you know, but the situation keep getting worse.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
We're back. A local non-government organization continues to give students opportunities to stand head and shoulders among their peers. It goes under the umbrella of HEON, which stands for Help Empower Our Nation, and is making tertiary education affordable to students who may not be financially stable to afford it. An award ceremony was held on Saturday at the Grenville Secondary School.
Certain students successful in this year's CSEC exams are now guaranteed a tertiary education. On Saturday, scholarships for full tuition to the T.A. Marisho Community College were awarded. One of the sponsors from the inception of the HEON project is Mr. Frederick Belfon.
Let's look at it this way. Education is one of the sure ways of equalizing in society, one of the biggest equalizers. The fact that you give persons the opportunity to get education that they would not normally would have attained means that they have a better possibility to get a better job and be a more of a, what should I say, a contributor to the society, the families. And once you do that, you basically bring up the entire society and put in a position that they can provide better for their families, and at the end, our whole society would improve in that way.
Former Prime Minister Mr. Tillman Thomas believes education puts young people on a stronger footing and provides them with a sense of independence.
Education is really necessary for the upliftment of our people. In particular, our young people need to be educated to make a valuable contribution to our society. The more educated you are, the less susceptible you are to exploitation. You could contribute. So it is something we see as vital for our young people, and we decided to support.
Anne Alexander Memorial has partnered with the HEON project this year to provide 2 additional scholarships. Renee Beggs Joseph and Janique King are the 2 awardees. Representative Karima Johnson applauds the support of the HEON project to students. Setting aside politics, she noted the importance of organization like the HEON project to bring about the change that is necessary. Since the inception of the project in 2015, more than 40 students were set on the path to their academic achievement. Based on request from the organization, students are expected to attend all classes as scheduled, maintain a grade point average of 2.7 or higher, complete a community project, and hold open communication with the project personnel. Christina John, GBN News.
Grenada will join in observing World Food Day on Friday of this week. Here's what we can tell you. This year's theme is Grow, Nourish, and sustain together for the future. World Food Day 2020 marks the 75th anniversary of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, as countries around the world deal with the widespread effects of the global COVID-19 pandemic. Director of Research in the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Malachi Doughton, says the launch of the National Food Security Program is one of the highlights of this year's local observance.
We may want to ask ourselves, how does that apply to Grenada? You may recall that we would have said and launched the National Food Security Program. And we have said that all Grenadians at all times should have access, should have economical, physical, cultural, and affordable access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food for an active and healthy lifestyle. So our food security program, how we would have defined it, is linked. There is a dialectic relationship with what is being offered by FAO in terms of the World Food Day team.
Dr. Doughton has given the assurance that organizers of Friday's observance are mindful of the COVID-19 regulations.
On the 16th of this month, which is Friday, we will have the display, but we will maintain all the COVID theory, and it will take place at the National Stadium. Apart from that activity on Saturday at the National Stadium, we have already started activity at the respective school, both secondary and primary school, where we have been discussing the team.
Former Commissioner of Police Winston James is among a number of Grenadians honored by Queen Elizabeth II for their outstanding achievements and contributions to society. James has been awarded the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, Civil Division, Order of the British Empire for service to national security. The award was announced on the Queen's Birthday Honours List 2020. Father Sean Doggett has also been awarded OBE for religious and community service. Her Majesty the Queen has graciously approved the award of the British Empire Medal Civil Division to Mrs. Hortensia Francis for her contribution to the arts, Mrs. Susan Mains for service to the arts, and John Felix Williams for voluntary service. Congratulations to all of them.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us #1. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. For me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and the programs including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
At Dutch Lady, we give you delicious and nutritious milk. We make sure our milk is filled with essential nutrients, calcium, vitamins, and protein. Dutch Lady gives everyone in the family a strong start to the day. Keep your family healthy and happy. Dutch Lady, building strong families since 1871.
Distributed by Hubbard's Agencies, Kirani James Boulevard, St. George's.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Bruv. Hello? I can't see you.
What's good?
But I can't even hear you.
Yo.
Hello? Hello? Ah.
Okay, I see you. I'm good. I'm coming in.
Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicel's super fast network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicel.
Feel good facts.
Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
Feel good facts.
Help prevent cold and flu by washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. That's the time it takes to remove most germs. No soap and water? No worries when you've got alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Those of you who need to get to work at 8, you have just about 40 minutes to get there directly on time. So hustle, hustle, hustle. If you're still at home, hopefully you're working just across the street, yes? All right, let's get into this morning's interview. I have joining us virtually is President of the Grenada Red Cross Society, Miss Samantha Dickson. And today we are recognizing World Disaster Risk Reduction Day. Good morning, Ms. Dickson.
Good morning, Rostam, and thank you for having me. Good morning to all the viewers and listeners of your program.
No problem at all. It's an important day, especially for you, as today is Disaster Risk Reduction Day, World Disaster Risk Reduction Day. Tell us what that day is all about, especially at a time when it comes in the middle of the Atlantic, well, not the middle, but in the Atlantic hurricane season.
And of course, hurricanes being only one of the events we prepare for.
Exactly.
So October 13th every year is dedicated as the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction. It is a UN-recognized day, but of course the Red Cross and other international agencies that participate and support disaster management, we take the opportunity to help bring awareness and to help continue to sensitize and educate our populations. For the Red Cross, it's special because we are a lead partner in the issue of disaster management and health and welfare, social services, and generally keeping people safe. Just to say, the theme this year has to do with strengthening disaster risk governance to manage disaster risk. And what that means is that having frameworks and policies in place to guide the work that we do, enabling us to be accountable to the beneficiaries, the donors, and doing things together in a comprehensive way to meet the needs and to keep people safe at all times.
What's the significance of the theme specifically for Grenada? Because the theme is really a worldwide theme, but for us here in Grenada, what does it mean for us?
Right, and that's a fantastic question. So what it means for us is that we need to give some emphasis and some attention to actual disaster management laws and legislations and policies, because we can only do so much with activities on the ground, for example, but if we are not governed by the frameworks and policies and let's say laws at the national level, then we kind of like just doing activities without any, as we would say, legal tooth, as we normally say in layman language.
Do we have activities to commemorate World Disaster Risk Reduction Day today?
So this is one of the activities, always using the media and social media at that to promote the work of any disaster implementation agency, like the Red Cross NADMA, because the Red Cross supports NADMA to facilitate all the disaster management issues. As we go forward, we think about disaster in terms of comprehensive disaster management through all the phases, not just response as we are accustomed to after the thing happens, but we are taking a serious step into prevention, mitigation, preparedness. So this is one of the preparedness activities. Then you have response and recovery after something has happened. The data has shown that the more you invest in resilience building and risk reduction, somehow it's the less you spend when it's time to respond and to recover. So for example, if you have enforced building codes, land use policies, water use policies, if you have disaster management legislation, how people should construct things, the way we should build our properties, how close it is to different facilities, all those things constitute generally to a more resilient community.
Generally, what would you say has been the most significant approach to dealing with disaster risk reduction in Grenada by the Grenada Red Cross?
So we engage in a methodology called CEA, Community Engagement and Accountability. So it's one thing for the Red Cross, let's say, to have a policy or to have a program, but if we do not have persons in the community engaged, then it's like spinning top in mud, as we say. But so being on the ground, and the Red Cross is known to be on ground, on foot, we try to work with families to have their family disaster plans in order, and it's not just about hurricanes, like I said before. So each family must sit down, think about all the things that can put them at risk. It can start with me. So for example, I think about the health risks, and I try to reduce that by having insurance, by going to the doctor, by having a plan, by taking care of self, by engaging in, healthcare practices. And then how do I translate that to my family? Keeping children safe, keeping loved ones safe, keeping my property safe, and then even now bigger into the community. So how does that translate to the community and eventually to the parish and then to the island? The Grenada Red Cross has been doing quite a bit in terms of our auxiliary role to government. We support the national structure. The Red Cross has responsibility in the national plan in a number of areas. One, we serve on the National Shelter Inspection Committee, so we're out there as a partner. We are responsible for providing support should there be shelters activated. Following emergency, we are engaged in damage assessment and needs analysis, and so to find out what has happened, where the needs wanted the most. We engage, right now we are developing the capacity to do emergency operations more effectively. So we are retrofitting a space at the Red Cross should something happen. We can have persons there. Of course, it depends on the intensity of the event, because we have from experience, no matter how well we have certain facilities, that the event can also be a risk for us. But still, we have to, that does not give us, it gives us the opportunity, to put things in place to be better prepared for the eventuality of anything, because we never know. Building capacities of volunteers is important, so we have constant and ongoing training and capacity development for them. We are looking at our stock management. We have some warehouses. There are times it's empty, so we have to be responsible to try to get donors to help us fill it up should the need arise. In the situation now where we're dealing with COVID-19, It gives us an additional pressure because every island, every country, every territory has to look after its own. And so that has implications for us here in Grenada. We have to be at a point where if something happened, we have to stand on our own 2 feet until help arrives, if it ever arrives, because we are facing a situation now where every country, every population is going through something similar, and they have to fend for themselves as well.
With all the plans that you have, those that you've done, those that you're hoping to do, what role do they play in the framework for disaster management that you're working along with government to create?
Right. So through some of the responsibilities that I mentioned from the National Disaster Plan, the Red Cross sits at the national level, which is the National Emergency Advisory Council, the NEC. So we attend meetings and we are aware of what's taking place at the national level. The Red Cross would do its best to support whatever it can support should the need arise.
And the role played during the COVID-19 response, tell us more about that.
Right, so particularly for COVID, I mean, thankfully we don't have to deal with physical damage as we know when other events happen. So this is a health emergency. We have been supporting, we've gotten quite a few sponsors. So one of the things we've been doing is to provide health and hygiene and food packages to families. Another thing we've been doing is to provide education and information. We have also brought in a number of personal protective equipment that we've been supporting volunteers to be able to do their work. We have just concluded some discussions with the Ministry of Education, and we'll be supporting all primary schools with infrared thermometers. And the list goes on. We continue to kind of help look at the assessments and try to support wherever we can. And to remind us all that we're doing this voluntary. We have just about 7 staff serving the entire nation. So the bulk of the work is done through volunteers at the community level. So we have people on foot doing this work in their spare time and being able to help us do assessments to see what the picture is.
There are some people who have the notion that if I do not see something happening, then that means it's not happening. And I've heard people saying, I don't really see Red Cross doing anything. But in my view, it seems like Red Cross is really behind the scenes doing what they need to. How would you respond to people who say, I don't see Red Cross doing anything, so all they ain't doing nothing? How would you respond to that?
So again, I am known to go up on the social media and try to do damage control, as we say. So for example, for the food and hygiene distribution, we got a tag that said, oh, we're probably doing it to our friends and family, and you always get those things. And so we appreciate the constructive criticism, but it's an opportunity for the Red Cross to do better as well. So maybe we need to be more visible. Right now, as we speak, we're going to launch a brand new website. We have a communication team who's on the ground and trying to do things better on our behalf, to be visible, and as I said, to be accountable. So that's why we want to be in communities. One way we could be more visible is to have volunteers on ground in every community. So it's a plea again for persons to volunteer. And at the same time, to tell our population that when you sign up to volunteer, there are times things are going to be slow. So we don't live in a country where there's always things happening. So there are times when programs kind of go to sleep a little bit because we are not actively doing anything at the moment. Again, our work is based on the grants and the donorship that we get, and so sometimes when we don't have money, then we tend to kind of slow down the things that we are doing. But we continue to work with local, regional, and international partners to get this done. We have a responsibility that we've signed up for. I give right now about 20-25 hours a week to Red Cross work, and it's all pro bono, and I love what I do. People who know me know that I've been in Red Cross now, I think 33 years, I'm counting. I've been a volunteer, will always be a volunteer, because I know the impact that it has on the lives of the people that I touch with the service that I do.
I like to hear you say that. So how can people volunteer? What do they need to do, or what are the requirements or criteria that they need to volunteer?
Right. So great question again. So there is no real, let's say, criteria. So we welcome all volunteers. What we do is we fill up an application form. Like I say, sometimes it takes time because we're looking for volunteers now to help us manage the volunteer program when dealing with persons saying that they want to volunteer. So I think a lot of people see volunteerism as what you do in response when disaster happens, go in and give out the food and so on. But it's much, much more than that. It's about walking through the community when nothing is happening, but keeping people sensitized. So for example, today is an important day for this. And when nothing seems to be happening, to be able to reach families and to support. And to tell you, Blossom, that a lot of us are volunteers in our own way every day by what we do. The number of people out there helping other families right now in the COVID-19 situations, donating food, talking to people, just being a friend during a phone call. All those are the things that we do at the Red Cross. It's just about being there, fulfilling a need, being a good friend, being a support whenever we can when the need arises.
And back to Disaster Risk Reduction Day, what would you deem to be most important in recognizing this day, in celebrating and commemorating this day?
I would say that every individual has a responsibility to self and then to family and to others to do whatever we can with the resources that we have to keep each other safe. So we need to be our brother's keeper. We need to do the very little things that would keep us safe and reduce risk. At the end of the day, we would hope that we don't have to respond so many times to emergencies. If we invest more in preparedness and mitigation, maybe it's just one of the things that would change the way disaster management is looked at.
And are there activities that members of the public can participate in, or how can they participate for Disaster Risk Reduction Day?
So from the Red Cross perspective, it's about education and awareness. The brunt of the work really happens in the other 360 plus days of the year. We just kind of pause on this day to sensitize and make people aware that risk reduction is something that we have to do every day, but we just kind of slow down today in the sense that we have a lot of education activities, mostly from our end, but our COVID-19 operation continues, training in disaster management and preparedness and mitigation continues. We are encouraging people to do what they can in their communities, in their groups, in their churches, their sports groups, youth groups, whatever groups you belong to take some time, evaluate what might put your community, your family, your group at risk, and then to do mitigation efforts to put that, to reduce the risk. Always call on the Red Cross for support. By doing these kind of events and giving us the exposure, Blossom, we would be getting calls. But again, we ask the public to have a little patience because we need volunteers to help us do the work. And the 7 staff that we have can only do it with the help of others. So the more volunteers we get, the more people we train, the better able we'll be able to meet the demands to be able to reduce risk.
And what about donations? How can folks donate, and what items or services do you most require or need at this time?
Yes, I hope I have the time because that's going to take probably another day to discuss, but I'm only kidding. In terms of donations, we have accounts in most of the popular banks, Republic, the RBTT, the Grenada Cooperative. So you walk into any bank and you say you want to make a donation to Red Cross, we have accounts in those banks. If it's a cash donation, give us a call, we'll make arrangements to pick up. We sometimes have donation boxes in particular places. There are not many of them out there at the moment. People normally call and give pledges of different things, clothes and food items and hygiene supplies. We would have had individuals who donated soap and so on because we had, I forgot to mention that we are working together with some groups to establish hand washing stations that can be accessed by a lot of persons in the public. I know one of the comments that came when we talked about hand washing stations was the fact that sanitizing might be more important, and that's not true. My Ministry of Health colleagues will back me up. Hand washing is advocated as the #1 way to take care of yourself in terms of the hands, and then when you can't hand wash, then you use sanitizer. So again, the hand washing for 40 seconds, soap and water, proper rinsing, proper disposal of the tissue and all that, that is the number one. And then when you don't have the hand washing facility, then you do sanitizers. And so as the Red Cross, I think we now have funding to establish 14 hand washing stations. We're working with the entities like the police, public entities like schools. We are trying to locate those and NAWASA again to establish those hand washing stations that they will be to the benefit of a great number of persons in those locations. Other things that the persons can donate is their time and talent. If we get persons, for example, who could knit and crochet, then that'll give us the opportunity to give that service in community. Somebody who could bake, then we'll probably have a bake sale, you know. So there's a number of ways. So once you have a talent or skill and you want to share it with the Red Cross, we are open and ready to welcome you to all those.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Dickson, and happy World Disaster Risk Reduction Day.
So thank you very much for the opportunity.
No problem at all. Good luck with all the activities that you have, and continue doing what you're doing. It's appreciated. Even though we may not publicly say it, it's appreciated. You and the staff at the Red Cross.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
That was President of the Grenada Red Cross Society, Samantha Dickson, as Grenada recognizes World Disaster Risk Reduction Day today. Those of you who can volunteer your time, whether it's cash, food items, clothing items, whatever you can do or however you can contribute, please continue to do so. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, I'm going to invite our viewers and listeners who may be able to contribute to this morning's Trivia Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Rubis is giving you more ways to win because you deserve it. Spend $50 or more in Ultratech fuel or purchase a Rubigas refill at any Rubis service station and get an entry card. Win one of 5 amazing grand prizes worth $2,500, including Ultratech fuel, cash, groceries, bill payment vouchers, and home furnishings. Each grand prize winner gets to donate $500 to charity too. Plus, win exciting weekly prizes, including electronics. Make sure you're in with a chance to win. Win with Rubis. You deserve it.
How going on, boy? Hey, good old things. Hey, easy. Yeah. Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It is 18 and a half minutes on to 8 o'clock. We have just about 15 minutes or so for this morning's Trivia Tuesday. Like I told you last week, this week, I'm going to invite our viewers and listeners to contribute the information for Trivia Tuesday. Any bits of information that you may have that you think people need to know, this is your morning to share. If you have a remedy to cure a headache, or a bit of information on St. Patrick, or a bit of information that you may have on St. Mark, or a bit of information that you may have on how cornflakes were made. Yeah, let's see how conflicts were made. But any bit of information that you want to share, just call us on the landline 435-2041 and share with us. Share your knowledge with us. You can also share on the WhatsApp. It's also 435-2041. Please, only written messages on WhatsApp. Don't voice or video call. Don't send me the link to the information. Don't send me a YouTube video of a piece of information. Just take your time and write it out. It could be just a line. Anything that you want to share. You can participate as well and contribute on the GBN Television Facebook page and the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page. Is going to take me a while to say it, to remember it. GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network, that's the Facebook page, and you can also participate on the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. All right, let's see. Before the phone rings, okay, nobody don't have a remedy to cure a stomach ache. What about a stomach ache? All right, let me see. I have pieces of information here to share, and until the phone rings, I'm going to share it. Okay, the first piece of information. Did you know that tomato ketchup was once used as medicine? Did you know tomato ketchup was once used for medicine? It is one of the leading condiments in the world. In the year 2019, the revenue for ketchup amounted to US 19.942 million US dollars worldwide. However, 150 years ago, they would have prescribed it for you because it was used as medicine. Was once used as a medicinal property and was used as a form of medication to cure diarrhea, indigestion, rheumatism, and jaundice. Did you know that ketchup was once used as a form of medication to cure diarrhea, indigestion, rheumatism, and jaundice? Yes, that's a bit of information that I want us to share this morning. It doesn't have to be ketchup, it doesn't have to be mustard, it could be big time, it could be, what else we was using, bitter fence, clove, and all them juicy things. And I'm saying, let's go by the landline and see who's sharing and what they're sharing. Good morning, caller.
Awesome. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Is it an open line? You could...
We're sharing information.
So no, general information, because I was thinking in terms about this situation with this guy that jumped the quarantine.
Okay, well, you could save it for to the point.
All right, okay, no problem.
All right. Yes, you can save that for to the point. Let's see. There was another piece of information I bounced up on the other day. Now, let me see if I find it. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Citizen. What's that word?
Morning, Citizen Rolo. You're breaking up a little bit. Yeah, Citizen Rolo, you're breaking up a little bit. Something is wrong with your phone, so feel free to call back. All right, let me see. Another piece of information I saw the other day. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning. Greetings.
Good morning.
Listen, I just like to share. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I'd like to briefly share this information here, because I think it is rather disappointing that we have a situation like this on the quote-unquote internet. Curiously, I was browsing the internet related to the history of the construction of the Point Saline International Airport. As we knew it back then, there's no change. And I found out there written more than one occasion that our airport, that international airport, was designed by Canadian engineers and built by North American and European companies. Now, this is written there. I don't know who do it because they didn't put the authors of the document, but I'd like to clarify that. I think it is an, well, whatever you care to call it, insultive to the national population of this country. I'd like brothers and sisters to look at it. I wouldn't go in depth into it, but I'd like us to look at it and see. And for those who know, as we go along in the history, to get that cleared up, the people who dominate and know how to manipulate the internet and all, please do some research and correct that anomaly. Because our airport was designed by Grenadians, including, may he rest in peace, Ron Smith, one of the most prominent engineers in this here country, and some other engineers from the Ministry of Works back then, and the latter stages, Cuban engineers who collaborated with us. And it was built, yes, with assistance, we have to say, of some European companies, namely, for example, Plessy, a British company who supplied the electronic and telecommunication equipment, etc., and electrical engineering. But all the infrastructure of that airport was built by Grenadians and Cuban sweat. At the end, after the invasion, a Yankee firm came in and did some work additionally together with a Canadian firm called, can't remember the name now, Janin. But that airport was built by the sweat of Grenadian and Cuban blood, tears. And I think that it is time that we correct these anomalies in our history, because later generation will read this incorrect thing, which of course is an insult to the brothers and sisters who sacrificially in need worked on the construction of that beautiful, iconic job we have. Thank you very much. I'll waste no more time on it, but we'll talk about it again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Citizen Rollo. Well, I didn't even know that incorrect information was in existence. So thank you for making me aware, so at least when I bounce upon it, I won't think twice about the knowledge that I had. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Blossom.
Morning, how you do?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, just a little bit information. The Ollies way down in 1914 come up. When a woman go to having a baby, what my granny told me they used to have is a bottle. So when you're going to push for that baby, you're blowing in a bottle. So that bottle make you push out the baby faster. So you understand, if you try blowing in a bottle and you're keeping that pressure, what that is doing. So you see, that was a method of blowing in the bottle. The baby come faster. When they go into, when the person is going to have a lot of pain, they make a cutter with some grass and they put a stone on the cutter and they keep singing, and that keeps down the pain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Expectant mothers walk with your bottles to the hospital. I could see it in it. The pressure from in the bottle. Okay. Expectant mothers walk with your bottles to the general hospital. That might help all you. Yeah, man. Okay, I see it. Thank you very much, caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom. Nice program and nice topic too.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bido. How you do?
Well, I just been easy, learning a lot.
All right, go ahead. What you share with us this morning?
Well, like what the last caller say about with the bottle, but then I won't go there this morning. Like when you go in the bathroom and the water cold, you're starting to sing. So while you're singing, the cold is getting away. But what you talk about the ketchup, that is a good topic too, because what really happens, I eat tomatoes raw, right? And for me personal, I like it, right? And then if you go a place, like on the roadside and the frying chicken, I want the tomato ketchup on the chicken. So let's leave it there for now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bido. I've seen people eat tomatoes like fruits, Miss Didas do that. Yeah, sitting and biting like how you bite an apple. I can't live that life. I'll eat it in a sandwich, salad, but I can't just be chomping on tomatoes. I can't live that life, Miss D. Bring up your whole self for that method, Dave. Speaking of tomatoes, somebody on WhatsApp says, did you know everyone used to hate tomatoes? Back in the days, rich people used to eat everything with lead plates and lead cups. When they used the lead plates with tomatoes, it absorbed the lead and make the potatoes poisonous. Everyone thought that the tomatoes were bad, but it was actually the lead. Yes. Learn something new every day. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. All is well?
I am humble in the name
of the Lord. Amen. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
How was your weekend?
It was good, and it was good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of information to share with you.
Sure, go ahead.
About cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get the black seed oil and honey, right? You mix it equally, and you drink a teaspoon 3 times a day, morning, lunchtime, and evening. And that would help you. That would get rid of the cancer.
It getting rid of the cancer?
Yeah.
Black seed oil and?
Honey.
And honey.
But it have to be mixed equally.
Equal parts. All right. Yeah. Okay.
And when you're going to use it, you shake it properly. Because you know one is heavier than one. And it would settle at the bottom, right? And the other one would float at the top. So you mix it. You shake it properly and you drink teaspoon 3 times a day.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day.
You too.
All right.
And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Today specifically is Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Look at remedy: black seed oil and honey, equal parts. Equal parts meaning how much you use of one, you have to use in the next. Whether it's a cup, 2 cups, 5 cups, or 2 teaspoons. Let me see. Somebody on WhatsApp says, come walk with a sister. Right. I would like for my people to start drinking lots of water and local juices and stay away from the soft drinks. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, did you know that ketchup mixed with mustard gives you a good salad dressing? Equal parts? Ketchup and mustard. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let me see. Phones? Okay, nobody on the phone. Somebody else on WhatsApp. For people who suffer from migraine, mixing dark coffee really strong with a minimal amount of sugar can quickly ease the discomfort and symptoms. Okay. Coffee and a real strong coffee and a little bit of sugar just to brackish it a little bit. All right. Okay. I got you. Big up your whole self with that there. Mm-hmm. See, we're sharing this morning. Let me check before I go back by the WhatsApp. Okay, hold on. Let me go by that phone line. Somebody on WhatsApp says, did you know 8% of people have an extra rib? Good morning, caller.
Good morning to you, Blossom. How are you?
I'm good. How you do?
I'm good. The man who just talked about the black seed oil and honey, do we have proof of that?
Oh, I didn't ask him. Well, he usually calls with these little remedies, so maybe.
Ask him. You must ask him.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
All right. He usually calls with information, you know. Or, hold on, wait, let's Google it. All you know, I like my trusty Google. Black seed oil and honey helps cancer. Hold on there. All right. Okay, hold on. I'll look for it just now because there's a lot of information before me. A lot of information before me. All right. Somebody else says the most commonly used letter in the alphabet is the letter E. Quite possibly. The letter E. Yes, I think I did that. Did you know on that too, you know? Okay. Fair enough. Birds need gravity to swallow. To help it go down. Okay. All right. Let me see. The phone line's ringing. We have 2 more minutes. Let's see. Yes. Look. Somebody, I saw that meme on social media the other day. The first letters of the months from July to November spell Jason. Well, you know Jason, the that not so nice character from the movies. Jason is the one with the chainsaw. Freddy Krueger is the claws, and Jason is the one with the chainsaw and the mask. Yes, and July to November. July, August, September, October, November spells Jason. I remember when they said last week in 2020 and the month spelled Jason, and people, Lord. All right, let me go. The phone ringing? Yes, the phone's ringing. Let me take the last caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom. How are you this morning?
Morning, I'm good.
I don't know what is the program this morning. I just log on.
We are sharing pieces of trivia. So any piece of information that you may have to share with us this morning.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Have a blessed day.
You too.
Okay.
All right. The internet says macadamia nuts are toxic to dogs. What? And chocolate too, ain't it? Look, somebody said cats spend 66% of their life asleep. Only 66? I find as every time I see a cat, they sleeping. You sure it's just 66? Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Blossom.
Morning. I'm good. How you do?
Yes, I'm not too bad.
All right, go ahead.
The listener called a while ago concerning his backseat oil and honey. I wonder if you could get his number for me off air. I will be very grateful.
Okay, anytime he calls back, I'll see if I can get it for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. You see, somebody wants more remedies and more recipes. That's going to bring us to the end of this morning's. Hold on, let me make a final round. Somebody on WhatsApp says... Hold on. Leatherface is the one. Jason is the one with the cutlass. Leatherface is the one with the chainsaw. No, man, Jason don't have a mask to any face. Let's see. Somebody says, I have a friend who had cancer. She said she boiled lemon, eat some every day. I met her the morning coming from the archaeologist. She was free from it. So she boiled lemon and eat it and she's cancer free. I inside. Thank you guys so much for participating. It's time to join the BBC for the 8 a.m. newscast. Remember, we currently have an active COVID-19 case and contact tracing continues, so you don't know if they're reached by your neighbor yet. So continue to mind your business, wear your mask and wash your hands. Have yourselves a productive Tuesday. Let's join the BBC.
Donald Trump holds his first rally since testing positive for COVID-19, but with no mask for him and for many of his supporters.
I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience.
As a consequence of months of overwhelming lying, misleading, and irresponsible action on the part of Donald Trump, how many empty chairs are going to be around the dinner table tonight?
President Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, will face her first question and answer session in the Senate in the next few hours. And sniffing out COVID, the dogs in Lebanon with a 100% success rate.